Hello and welcome to Colonial Rock Radio. I'm Garret Roberts. With me I have Spinning Jenny. How about you guys introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'm Julia. I'm the oldest, as we're all sisters, in Spinning Jenny. I'm a senior cyber forensics major here.
I'm Talia. I'm the middle child, I guess, of the family. I'm 18, and I don't go here, so I don't think they really care what my major is.
I'm Angelina. I'm 16 years old, and I'm still in high school, so I don't have a major.
All right. So, first and foremost, what is Who Will Rock You?
It is a music competition sponsored by Topgolf. You know, like if you've ever been to the indoor golfing facilities, that's usually them. So it is a nationwide competition. They do auditions in places like New York City, LA, Las Vegas, and Nashville. And once they get their finalists from each of those cities, it's coming together in Nashville for the final 3 rounds, I believe. So they just did their first season last year, I believe. So this will be season 2.
Mm-hmm. And then what do they do on the show? Like, what do they expect the bands to do?
The first round, we are expected to play a cover song. So each band is going to do that, and then they will, further eliminate, pick the finalists, and then if you make it to the next round, then you play an original song of your choice. And they have celebrity judges. I believe this year Dee Snider from Twisted Sister is going to be one of the judges, which is pretty cool. And then they also have a live audience there. I believe it's like maybe 100 people.
It's 100 people
Like a voting audience.
that get to vote.
Yeah.
So, like, the part of how you get picked to win is there's, like, 100 people that vote from the audience.
Right.
And then there's just the rest of the audience that are just there watching.
Right. So then they have, if you make it all the way to the end and end up as the winner, they have a cash grand prize and then the opportunity to do a headlining tour sponsored by Topgolf.
Have you guys thought of what cover you wanted to do yet?
Yes. It's kind of a long process since it's going to be on TV. You have to clear the cover songs that you're doing so they can reach out to the artists and like make sure that they have the permissions and everything. So a lot of the songs that we were thinking about actually have been like no, sorry, we can't get that cleared. Luckily, this cover song we auditioned with was Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones, and they thought that it might be pretty difficult just because it's the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
But we just got back from them, or we just heard back from them not too long ago, and we're going to be able to do Paint It Black. So we're pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, I know whenever I saw you guys perform at the Hard Rock, I brought my friend Tanner with me, and he loved your cover of Waterfalls.
Oh, awesome.
He still talks about it to this day.
That's awesome. Yeah, we were thinking about that one, but they're very like specific about what they want. So they want things that are high energy, high tempo, nothing too slow, nothing really with like, all acoustics. So
And they said since Dee Snider was going to be a judge, he kind of likes the more classic rock
Oh, yeah.
kind of stuff. So, I mean, Dee Snider tells you to play classic rock, then you play
you're gonna
classic
listen.
rock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what does Topgolf consider when deciding on bands to perform? Like, what's their selection process?
I honestly am not totally sure. Like, we got asked to audition, actually. I mean, I would say if I had to pick, I would probably say something that looks, appealing on television. We're 3 young girls playing, mostly rock and roll music, and I think that's something that kind of catches people's eyes when they're watching TV shows. And so I would definitely say that, and probably like popularity on social media. I know that's something we always hear. Like, people always look at your social media. People always look at how many followers you have. And I think on YouTube, that cover of Paint It Black is actually kind of what sold them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we have
on
a
us.
decent amount of views. And one thing they like really told us before we auditioned was like, look, you can play your song like as well as anybody else. Like, you can play it perfectly, but like you have to have that presence. Like, you have to make it a show. You have to go out there and be like dynamic and entertaining. So they like really, really stress that before we even started the song. They're like, because this is going to be filmed, so we want something that's fun to watch. Not only sounds good.
Yeah, and you mentioned that like gender can play kind of a role in it, and there's a lot of female rock stars that are up and coming. Like, do you think that the rock scene is kind of having a shift, old dudes playing rock to...
I would say that everybody has an equal opportunity to, you know, make it in whatever genre they like. I don't really find that there's an issue with like being a woman and not being able to like be taken seriously. I think it does, maybe it probably gives you a little bit of an advantage because like for us, like, well, they're young, I'm getting old, but it's more unexpected, you know, for 3 girls to be up there playing rock and roll. So I think, you know, you kind of can use it as an edge, but I don't really think there's any kind of discrimination against like the sexes and never
any, like kind of like you said, discrimination of like, oh, but you're girls so you can't do that. I think like she said, most of the time it's been kind of like, oh, you're girls, like that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's hard to find like traditional rock and roll bands anyways nowadays, so like guys or girls, it's like it's not the most popular thing right now. That's kind of important to us to maybe like keep that going.
So you mentioned that you went to New York City for the audition. What was that experience like?
It was crazy. I was freaking out the whole time. So cool. Ask them. None of us had ever been to New York City, so that was the first time we were there. It was just, it was crazy. It's just like we come from a really small town.
It's really, really small.
It's called a village because it's not even big enough to be a town. But, and then to like go to New York City and like it was midnight and we turned onto 42nd Street and I was just like,
crazy.
I have no idea what's going on. Like I have no idea what this is. This is crazy. So, I mean, I thought it was awesome. Like, I thought it was just really cool to kind of have, like, an excuse to be there and to, like, look at and see all that stuff, you know, because, I mean, I guess I could go there just for a vacation, but it was cool to be like, oh, I'm, like, auditioning, so might as well be in New York City.
So, what will this mean for the future of Spinning Jenny? Like, what's the next step after this?
I mean, I think the recognition and the exposure hopefully will go up a little bit, and which will be great. The opportunity to do a headlining tour in cities we've never been to would be amazing, you know, expanding from more of a regional audience to maybe some nationwide stuff, which is incredible. And I think, I don't know, maybe just personally like proving to ourselves that we can do it and we can go toe to toe with other bands would be huge for us. Because like we obviously we stay really humble about, you know, where we came from and what we're doing, and we know that we're just 3 kids who love music trying to do this, so it wouldn't be like an ego thing, but it would just be, I think it would be really great for all of us, for like band morale and just something cool to say that you took part in.